Moving on, Israel carried out fresh strikes against Hezbollah targets in South Lebanon early on Monday. The IDF claims 300 rockets were fired, even as Israel put out warnings asking residents of South Lebanon to keep away from offices and arms godowns run by Hezbollah. This comes after Hezbollah launched hundreds of rockets at targets in northern Israel. Lebanon said 50 people were killed and more than 300 others were wounded in Israeli strikes on the south on Monday. It's the heaviest daily toll in nearly a year of cross-border clashes. Israeli military spokesperson Daniel Hagari said that the latest strikes began after identifying an intention by the Hezbollah to fire at Israel. Reports say that Israeli warplanes carried out an intense wave of airstrikes on towns along Lebanon's southern border and even farther north on Monday morning. Israeli airstrikes targeted outskirts of many towns and villages in the south and the Bekaa Valley in eastern Lebanon. Warplanes also carried out strikes or airstrikes on the Hamel area in northern Lebanon, Hezbollah's Al-Manar TV reported. The Israeli army had released a short video of the Home Front Command inspecting the damage from Hezbollah rockets hitting Kiryat Bialik. Hezbollah had hit the Ramat David air base near Haifa, a strategic location that had not been hit since the recent conflict in Gaza began. Hezbollah fired dozens of heavy rockets, including the Fadi-1 and Fadi-2. Meanwhile, drones of the Islamic resistance in Iraq targeted the Israeli military's Golani observation base in the occupied Palestinian territories. Earlier, Israeli Defense Minister said that the action against Hezbollah will continue until residents of northern Israel can return to their homes.
We have a goal, ensuring the safe return of Israel's northern communities to their homes. And to do so, we will take all the necessary measures to achieve it. The sequence of actions serves the goals that we have set. We will continue using all means at our disposal in order to achieve our goals.
Gallant also said that the past week has been the most difficult in the history of Hezbollah's existence, especially the past day. He was referring to Hezbollah launching over 100 rockets into northern Israel early on Sunday. The rocket barrage overnight sent thousands of people scrambling into shelters. According to the Israeli military, rockets had been fired towards civilian areas, pointing to a possible escalation. This was in response to ramped-up Israeli attacks that killed at least 45 people, including one of Hezbollah's top leaders. Thousands of Hezbollah supporters attended the funeral of one of the group's commanders who was killed in the Israeli airstrike in southern Beirut. U.S. President Joe Biden has said Washington plans to do everything possible to keep a wider war from breaking out in West Asia. Biden said they are still pushing hard. But Hezbollah has vowed it would keep fighting Israel until it agrees to a ceasefire in its war against Hamas in Gaza. And Egypt's foreign minister has reiterated the risk of an all-out war, saying the escalation has, quote, negatively impacted a Gaza truce deal. He said that the latest spike in violence had negatively affected ceasefire negotiations in Gaza, which are being mediated by Cairo. Our correspondent Josie Cohen has the latest on the tensions on Israel's northern border.
So the IDF has said that it's carried out extensive strikes against Hezbollah targets such as rocket launchers to counter Hezbollah plans for a major rocket attacks against Israel. There have also been reports of a planned 7th of October style infiltration by Hezbollah in the Galilee region. The IDF said that there were more than 150 Hezbollah rockets fired at Israel on Sunday and that they downed several drones fired from Iraq, and the Iran-backed Islamic resistance has claimed responsibility for those. Now, people are asking if an all-out war is inevitable. Hezbollah deputy head Naim Qassem said that Hezbollah has entered a new phase of its battle with Israel. Israel's President Herzog said that Israel does not want a war and supports diplomatic efforts by the Americans, but that terror groups keep on firing at Israel. And he said that if a war is waged against Israel, that Israel will go all the way. Meanwhile, President Biden has expressed concern about the rising tensions, saying that his administration is doing everything to prevent an all-out war.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.